Why do older adults wake up at 3 a.m.? 5 surprising reasons. Welcome to Gray Wisdom, where life speaks through experience. On this channel, we share honest reflections on aging, loss, dignity, and the quiet truths that come with growing older. If you're new here, consider subscribing and joining a community that's learning how to age with peace, wisdom, and purpose. The 3 a.m. mystery. Have you ever found yourself wide awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling while the rest of the world is asleep? No loud noises, no bad dreams, just you and a strange stillness. You wonder, what woke me up? Why this hour? If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of older adults experience this strange early morning awakening, not always because of insomnia or even stress. In fact, waking up at 3 a.m. may be your body's quiet way of saying something is changing. Today, we'll uncover 5 surprising reasons why older adults often wake up in the middle of the night, and what these moments might be trying to tell you. These aren't just sleep tips, they're gentle truths about biology, emotion, habit, and the hidden rhythms of aging. By the end of this video, you may not just understand your sleep better, you may come to see it as something more meaningful. Reason number 1: lower melatonin production. As we age, our bodies produce less melatonin, the natural hormone that signals the brain when it's time to rest. In our younger years, melatonin rises at night like clockwork, guiding us into deep sleep. But as we get older, those levels start to drop. Imagine falling asleep peacefully at 9 p.m. Only a few hours later, around 3 a.m., your melatonin levels dip, and suddenly your brain starts to wake up. Not because of worry or pain, but simply because the chemical signal to stay asleep has faded. It's not your fault. It's not something broken. It's part of aging. Environmental factors can make it worse. A dim night light, street lights outside the window, or even the glow of a digital clock can confuse your brain into thinking it's time to wake up. Mr. Leonard, age 73, used to sleep soundly through the night. But more recently, he found himself wide awake at 3:20 a.m., feeling alert but confused. Once he learned that his melatonin levels were likely lower than before, he stopped blaming himself. He started dimming the lights earlier in the evening, cut screen time before bed, and began quiet evening walks. Small changes, big difference. His sleep deepened, and those 3 a.m. wake-ups became rare. Reason number 2: a shifted body clock, advanced sleep phase syndrome. Another major reason: your internal body clock may be shifting earlier, a phenomenon called advanced sleep phase syndrome. It simply means that your circadian rhythm, your natural sleep-wake cycle, is running ahead of schedule. Do you find yourself nodding off while watching evening TV? Waking before sunrise without an alarm? That's your body's way of saying, it's bedtime earlier now. Many older adults naturally start falling asleep earlier in the evening, often without realizing it. And if you fall asleep at 8:30 p.m., waking up at 3 a.m. isn't insomnia. It's your body saying, I've had my rest. Mr. Ray, age 69, retired a few years ago. With no need to wake up early for work, his evenings grew quiet. He'd eat dinner by 5:30 p.m.,
doze off during the 8 o'clock news, and be in bed by 9. Then he'd wake up at 3:15 a.m., wide awake, frustrated. Once he understood that his internal clock had shifted, he adjusted. He started eating later, reading longer, and adding short video calls with his grandchildren in the evenings. Those small social and activity cues helped him sleep longer and wake up closer to dawn. Reason number 3, physical discomfort or underlying health issues. In our later years, the body carries wear and tear, arthritis, back pain, digestive issues, or chronic conditions that quietly disturb rest. Even low-level discomfort, unnoticed during the day, can surface at night when all is still. Joint stiffness, for example, can build as we lie in one position too long. It doesn't scream, it whispers, and that whisper might be enough to wake you up. For men especially, an enlarged prostate can lead to more nighttime bathroom trips. And medications for blood pressure, pain, or cholesterol often have side effects like frequent urination or shallow sleep. Miss Irene, age 75, assumed she had age-related insomnia. But after a checkup, her doctor noticed one of her evening medications caused dehydration and increased nighttime urination. With a few adjustments, including shifting her medication to earlier in the day, she noticed fewer sleep disruptions and a more peaceful night. Sometimes, waking at 3 a.m. is your body's gentle way of saying, "Please pay attention." Reason number 4, lifestyle rhythms that disrupt sleep. Retirement brings freedom, but also fewer routines. Many older adults find themselves eating earlier, moving less, and having long, quiet evenings. While that sounds peaceful, it also sends your body subtle signals that bedtime is coming sooner than it should. Earlier dinners, less daylight exposure, fewer social interactions. These cues tell your brain to wind down early. And early to bed means early to rise, even if you'd rather not. Mr. Glenn, age 72, loved his calm, retired life. He'd eat dinner at 5, read for a bit, and be in bed by 8:45. But he'd wake up like clockwork at 3:30 a.m., restless. Once he realized his habits were nudging his body clock forward, he adjusted his routine. A short walk after dinner, stronger lighting in the evening, and limiting afternoon naps helped him stretch his day and reset his rhythm. The body loves structure, and a few gentle shifts in lifestyle can restore deeper, more consistent sleep. And finally, perhaps most tenderly, there are nights when we wake not because of pain or noise, but because of the quiet weight of emotion. At 3 a.m., the world is hushed, the cars have stopped, the television is off, the house is still. And in that silence, the heart begins to stir. It might be a memory rising from long ago, a whisper of regret, a longing for someone who's no longer here, or simply the ache of loneliness that brushes across the soul like a breeze through an open window. Mrs. Margaret, now 82, lost her husband 7 years ago. Her days are full, tending to her plants, chatting to her daughter, watching her favorite shows. But in the still hours of the night, she sometimes finds herself awake, not in sadness, but in reflection. She began keeping a small notebook by her bed. Each time she woke early, she would write down a thought, a memory, a quiet prayer. It became her way of honoring the moment, of being present with herself. And slowly, those wake-ups stopped feeling like interruptions and started feeling like healing. Because sometimes the 3 a.m. hour isn't about sleep at all. It's about the soul asking to be heard. Final reflections. What your sleep might be trying to tell you. Waking up at 3 a.m. can feel unsettling. You look around in the stillness, the clock ticking softly, the room dim and hushed, and you wonder, why now? But here's the truth. Waking up in the middle of the night doesn't always mean something is wrong. Sometimes it means something is changing, quietly, naturally, even beautifully. Your body, with all its wisdom, may be sending you gentle messages. A shift in hormones, a ripple in your daily rhythm, a call for rest or reflection. Sometimes even the heart stirs us awake